I'm going to go over how we made insulated window inserts that will fit into these window frames nicely. First thing I do is I measure the height of the window insert, and I go up to 29 inches, and I'll put the mark right on the end of the board here, so that when I go to line this up, it's easy to find it. So I'll put a mark right at 29, and I'll do the same thing over on the other end here. And make sure you always double check your numbers. Now I'm going to put the clamp on there to hold the saw guide in place. This is how I cut the width of these panels. We just did the height, which was 29 inches, and they have to be 25 to insert into the window frames that are existing on the bus. So I make a mark right here at 25 inches. And then I go back 1.25 inches to allow for the saw guide. So again, we take the saw guide and put it where it should be, clamp it in place there, and then that's where the blade will be cutting. I can measure out from the end of the wood to here, and it should be right at 23 3/4 on this end. It should be the same over here, 23 3/4. You may have to move this a little bit left or right, but you can get it right where it needs to be. And I like to make a little mark with the pin to know exactly where, so I don't lose it. And then I go ahead and put the clamp here, tighten it down, and we're ready to cut the width. So that's how I cut all of the panels for the windows. Whether I'm cutting the full-size panel or the short one that's 14 inches high, I use this tool and the Makita circular saw. And they're doing excellent cuts for us for the bus. So after I did that, I polyurethaned the side that's going to be facing the outside of the bus to prevent any moisture from ever getting into it. And then on the other side, I put wood primer down. That's what the white color is here. And then over that I put the finished paint color. So I had the colors all matching the inside of the bus. And after I got that polyurethane and primer on, I went ahead and I made a 3/4 inch pine frame and glued and used an ear nailer to fasten these onto the plywood with. So that's made out of 3/4 inch pine boards that I ripped, and they're 3/4 inches wide by 3/4 inches. So they will make this gap here that we can insulate further with this 1/2 inch insulating board here. This comes in 4 feet by 8 foot pieces. And the R value on this stuff is, for a 1/2 inch, is R3.2. So in addition to the other one I have, plus the thickness of the wood, it's going to be a pretty high R value for insulating the single pane glass windows. And I've already tested it and it works great. And I'll show you this product in a second, which goes up against the glass. So this foil stuff here is called Smart Shield. I'll let you see that a little bit closer here. It's very energy efficient stuff. It deflects most of the solar radiation from the glass, and we're putting that on the inside of the between the plywood and the glass to deflect the sun back out. So this is how it looks from the outside. You have this reflective foil here, and it gives a mirror effect. Also, this is very efficient at deflecting the solar radiation. So if the sun is hitting the bus sideways in the summertime, it's going to keep out most of the solar heat from going inside. In the wintertime, this also keeps the heat inside the bus when you're heating it and the cold out. So I found the best way to cut this insulating board is to use a utility knife and a nice little metal straight edge. And you measure your distance that you want to fit. Go inside of this window frame here. So I have that measured, and I drew a line right down here, and I line this up and put it right where I want to cut it, and then just hold the knife straight up and down and just pull it right along the edge. Also good to have a little wood beneath here, and you should make sure that you're really pressing down on the metal so you can cut a nice straight line. And then I would flip it over and just twist it up like that, and then just cut off the back like that. Now this should fit right inside the window frame that I made. Have it go right into here. And if you measured right, then it should fit, but it does give a little bit because it's a styrofoam type of product. Press it in. I like to feel a little bit tight also. Okay, now that's in. And I'm ready to put the fabric material on here so you won't see this from inside. In a previous video I showed how we made these window frames here, and I did this so I could mount these insulated window inserts right into here and have these turn buttons. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes here. But first of all, we'll start off with the panels that I made earlier in the video. So I showed how we made this foil that was stapled on over the outside that faces the glass, and then how I embedded the 1/2-inch insulating foam, also foil coated here. So this will hopefully keep most of the heat backed up into the bus instead of escaping out. So I have foil on both sides. So this panel now is what the whole thing looks like and how it's constructed. And then over this, I went ahead and went to Joann Fabric and got a vinyl fabric that I could staple on over this so I don't have to look at this foil. So on this panel, you can see it's finished and it's ready to go into the wall. And on the edge here, there are these little decorative nails. And I folded the vinyl over about 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch all the way around so I could have a thicker surface to put these nails through. And the leather is pretty taut here. So now when this goes up into the window, it should stay right in place easily. And they also insert pretty easily. You just set it up on the bottom like that with this reflective foil facing out. And that just goes right up into the frame, existing frame. And then these turn buttons turn and they go right over it to hold it in place. Now, what I'm planning to do with these turn buttons, since I'll be using these sort of interchangeably, whether the season is cold or too hot, I can take them in or out, or I can just take them all out for a couple months and have my bus windows back. Now, I know there's other ways to insulate a bus to make it warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer, but some of those things involve quite a lot more money, and you have to have quite a budget to remove all the windows and rivet in steel, cut it out, and then put RV windows in their place. I may do that with some of these windows in the future, but I think I would like to drive this bus around for about a year and see how I like these. If I don't have any moisture problems, I may just stay with this. I kind of like having the look of the bus on the outside, not losing all the windows. So that's what I did here to get these panels, and I will have to be doing every window that I don't think I need on a daily use basis. So some of these in the kitchen, they're going to be half panels that are up next to the stove and refrigerator and whatever stuff I have going on in the kitchen. I can't knock out the whole window because I won't have any light, so I'm going to just go halfway up to about this level here with the kitchen counter windows. So also there's some windows I will never need to have light. For example, in the closet back here, that will have one of these made, but I can just put it there. If I ever need to access a window, I can. So the nice thing about these, they only take a few seconds to put them in or take them out. If you don't want them in, you can take them out and put them in storage down under the bus or in your garage or wherever. If you need them, they're very convenient to put in. So that's it for the window inserts, the insulated window inserts. So they should keep this bus much cooler next summer. I had trouble keeping this cool to work in here, so I had temporarily put up foam, and that was a big help, but I'm looking forward to having these completed ones in all the windows that I need to have them in. So after all these are done, I'll be going ahead and putting up a copper rod and going back to Joe and Fabric again, getting some curtain material and sewing together curtains to go with our decor inside the bus. I hope some of the ideas today help some of you stay warmer in your bus or in your schoolie or conversion during the cold months this winter. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell to make sure that you get notified when we upload a new video. So take care and stay out of trouble out there.